Hello friends, how are you all? Hope everybody is doing well. Welcome to today's episode of K-Sizzle React. Many TV shows and nature guides have been dedicated to educating the public on the most poisonous and venomous spiders, snakes, and even frogs. But what about fish? Unlike spiders or snakes, we rarely hear about which fish are the most poisonous. This week we are dedicating our video to these hazardous fish. First though, let's clarify some terminology. Poisonous and venomous are terms often used interchangeably, but they have different meanings. A venomous animal has a means of injecting their toxin into another animal, whereas a poisonous animal can only deliver their toxin in a more passive manner. A common example given to clarify this difference is that frogs are poisonous while snakes are venomous. It is also important to note that the effects from a venomous fish sting can often be relieved by immersing the wound in hot water because these toxins are hate labile. Number 1. Pufferfish. Pufferfish have been given the title most poisonous fish and have also been labeled the second most poisonous vertebrate in the world. The toxin responsible for ranking this fish so high in the danger zone is called tetrodotoxin. Tetrodotoxin is neurotoxic and inhibits neural transmission, leading to weakness, paralysis, and even death at relatively low concentrations. This toxin is found in the fish's liver, ovaries, intestines, and skin, leaving muscle tissue with relatively low and somewhat safe levels to eat. However, only highly trained and certified chefs are allowed to prepare this fish for consumption, a common practice in Japan where pufferfish are considered a delicacy. Biologists think pufferfish, also known as blowfish, developed their famous inflatability because their slow, somewhat clumsy swimming style makes them vulnerable to predators. In lieu of escape, pufferfish use their highly elastic stomachs and the ability to quickly ingest huge amounts of water to turn themselves into a virtually inedible ball several times their normal size. Some species also have spines on their skin to make them even less palatable. Number 2. Stonefish. Stonefish have usurped the title of most venomous fish in recent years. They often resemble encrusted stones, blending into their natural environment with ease. They deliver their venom through a row of spines on their back that can be extended when threatened. Venom is involuntarily expelled when pressure is placed on the fish, and the more pressure, the more venom. They reside in the Indo-Pacific region in northern Australia. A sting from one of these fish can cause excruciating pain, rapid swelling, tissue death, muscle weakness, temporary paralysis, and in very rare cases, death. Stonefish are masters of camouflage and can blend in so perfectly with their surroundings that their prey, predators, and even human scuba divers have trouble seeing them at all. They almost always sit perfectly still on the seafloor in their preferred habitat of coral and rocky reefs, and their colors are often a perfect match for the substrate. Some individuals have even been observed with algae growing on them. While this camouflage gives them further protection from predators, its primary purpose is to allow stonefish to ambush their prey. They eat other reef fishes and some bottom-dwelling invertebrates, but they do not actively pursue these animals. Instead, they wait for dinner to come to them. Waiting for hours at a time, stonefish strike when their potential prey is less than their body length away. Their powerful jaws and large mouths create so much pressure that they are easily able to suck down their unsuspecting prey and swallow it whole. Number 3. Lionfish. Lionfish were thought to be the most venomous fish until recent years when stonefish stole the title. These conspicuous fish have venomous dorsal, anal, and pelvic spines covered by a loose sheath that moves down and compresses venom glands when the spine punctures tissue. A sting from these fish can cause extreme pain, swelling, and in very severe cases, cardiovascular collapse. Most lionfish naturally reside in the Indo-Pacific, but they have become an invasive species in recent years, most notably along the Atlantic coast of the United States, where they are having a major impact on Atlantic coral reef communities. Lionfish were likely introduced along the Atlantic coast through aquarium releases. Behavior. Lionfish are thought to be nocturnal hunters, but they have been found with full stomachs during the day in the Atlantic. They move about by slowly undulating the soft rays of the dorsal and anal fins. During the day, they sometimes retreat to ledges and crevices among the rocks and corals. Although in the Atlantic, lionfish are often seen moving about during the day, both alone and in small groups. Economic importance. Although lionfish have been used as a food source in their native range, economically, they are far more important in the aquarium trade. Lionfish are very popular and common aquarium fish, especially in the US. Conservation status: lionfish are not currently listed as threatened or endangered in their native range. However, the increase in pollution in coral reefs may negatively affect the lionfish's primary food sources. If lionfish are unable to adapt to declines in their prey species, their numbers may decrease. Number 4. Stingray. Stingrays are one of the most common groups of fish responsible for human envenomations, largely because many rays bury themselves on the seafloor where people unintentionally step on them. Stingray venom is generally cardiotoxic. The blue-spotted and southern stingrays are some of the most venomous of all stingrays. As a form of warning others, the blue-spotted stingray generally displays its bright blue-colored spots as a warning to predators of its highly venomous sting. Stingrays once caused about 750 stings a year along North American coasts. The present incidence is unknown, and most cases are not reported. Venom is contained in one or more spines on the dorsum of the animal's tail. Injuries usually occur when an unwary swimmer wading in ocean surf, bay, or backwater steps on a stingray buried in the sand and provokes it to thrust its tail upward and forward, driving the dorsal spine into the patient's foot or leg. The integumentary sheath surrounding the spine ruptures, and the venom escapes into the patient's tissues. Number 5. Boxfish. Boxfish and trunkfish are closely related to pufferfish. While these fish are not nearly as poisonous as puffers, they do have an impressive way of defending themselves with poison. When threatened or stressed, they excrete a toxin from specialized skin cells into the water, poisoning marine life in their vicinity. The Hawaiian boxfish in particular excretes a toxin called ostracytoxin or pahutoxin that is known to break down or destroy red blood cells. Boxfish, cofferfish, cowfish, and trunkfish are highly sought after and highly poisonous marine aquarium fish that are not for the novice or beginning fish handler. Related to the pufferfish, when these fish are significantly disturbed in the aquarium, their poisonous toxins can circulate throughout the tank and wipe out an entire community. These fish are all bony fish with plate-like scales that fuse together to make a box-like carapace. Juveniles begin life as rounder fish and develop the solid box shape as adults. They are a slow-moving fish, but because of their ability to secrete toxins are rarely at risk of being eaten. If you like the video, be sure to share. And if you like watching such mystery thriller videos, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. See you in the next episode with something new. Thanks everyone.